let's talk about illustrations. Now, say you are designing a product like an app or a website, and you can't find the right illustrations for your design. In this video, I will share with you how to create custom illustrations for your design using Figma. So we'll be replicating this YouTube illustrations from the YouTube studio, replicate compared to the other two. So the tool we are going to be using for illustration is the pen tool. If you do not know how to use the pen tool, don't know how to use the pen tool, don't worry. Just come in here. I will show you the steps that I know to use that. So click on the pen tool. After selected, then come to the illustration. This is the illustration we are going to be replicating. So come to here and start tracing. So how do you trace with the pen tool? Click, and that's just how you go with using the pen tool. I'll show us some changes some changes will be made and how to use it easily. So just trace with the pen tool. So after tracing the purple, right, you can say I'm done tracing the purple. I'm going to trace this triangle. So I'm going to click here. I don't know if you noticed that after tracing the purple, after connecting your last dot to another line, the pen tool does not have, is like free, does not have any other line. Show you it's going to be connected with something else. So for you to have, when you actually, that's how you know that your line is actually connected to each other, so there is no missing space between them. So with the next element I'm going to trace is this triangle. So to trace, I'm going to start with this particular dot where it ends here. Trace, click on that and come in here. Click down, right? Then I will end it with this dot. As you can see, my pen tool is free again, like I said. So the next thing I want to do is I want to trace this pencil. So when you make a mistake and click, just click on escape on your laptop. So like I did, click on escape on your laptop. So the next thing I'm going to do is click this, trying to trace this, then connect it to this. Tracing the particular pencil. I'm going to connect this to this. Now I want to connect this particular one to this for that shape. So I'm going to connect this to this as well. And for this one, I'm going to connect this to this here, to this. So this is me tracing, just me trying to trace all of this. So I'm going to trace here too, so you can see. For you to have a separate colors, one of the downside of using Figma for illustrations is the fact that you can actually decide the color for your lines. So that's the reason why we can't use lines for this. We have to make it like a full shape. So that way we'll be able to decide the individual shape, the individual color we are going to be using. So you can see this actually shows that this element is not connected. You can see it's not connected, and that's the reason why I have that. tracing by colors. So if a particular shape has a particular color, you're going to trace just that color only, because in our illustration that is a separate element on its own that you should be able to customize the color. See, I've actually traced all the elements of the illustrations, all the shapes, all the colors. So I'm going to teach us how to use the pen tool to make changes, make different corners, and to add color to our design. So let's just dive right into it. I'm going to be starting from the bottom. So we can start from the easy parts to the a little bit more complicated parts of the design. So let's go. So with this particular shape, I do not need to add any. So for this particular shape here, I do not really need to add anything except from colors. So what I'm going to do in this stage is I'm going to click on the paint buckets. And I'm going to have that here. And the color for this, I'm going to choose this color. Except that now it is actually a little bit more darker. So for my illustrations, then I will come in here to select the paint bucket as well. You can just press P on your computer and select this particular element. So the paint bucket is going to show you if a particular element is selected. So I'm going to have a lighter shade here, this will be a lighter shade. Then see on the paint bucket, you can see the moment I select this, it actually went to this area. So which shows my, so I'm going to go to the pen tool, which shows this is actually not well connected. So I'm going to connect that immediately, then go back to the paint bucket and select this now. And now I want a very light. So right here I'm going to use the bucket tool, but now I want it to be very dark because this is like a dark shadow. This is like a very dark shadow. Okay, I want a darker version of this color, but not too dark. Yeah. So another thing you want to see is this particular shape is working on shape. So actually you have to work on shape first. So this is the bend tool. It's going to give you a rounded corner shape. When you use it, rounded corner shape. When you use it, and you can use the move tool here. So the move tool here to move particular segments. You can see, you can move them to where you want it to be. You can move them. And for the bend tool, you can actually adjust manually here. So these are the ways you can use the illustrations. So I'm going to go back to the move tool and looking through here. This is meant to be straight, yes. So I've moved everything. You can see this shape is looking great, like what we wanted. So going in, I'm going to go in with the bend tool and correct all these sharp corners on the design. The sharp corners on the design. Double click outside. This is my illustrations. You can see my illustrations. This is what we have. So I'm going to undo that to show you we are actually getting there. So for this particular corner looks so I'm going to double click and ensure you are on this node versions. Your tool is actually selected, or this tool is actually selected. So I'm going to go with the move tool right here, and I'm thinking of doing this thing to ensure there is no cropped parts. This design. Okay, so you can actually select a particular node. You can see every other node here is, you can see it is actually white with a blue border, but the moment you select it, you can see it is selected. So for here, I'm coming in and I'm deleting a particular node I selected. Okay, so I'm going to redesign this area. Then select the bend tool. Let's not forget we are working with. Then the move tool, right, to ensure this is exactly what we wanted. So after making that change, you can see the shape. First, ensure the shape is in order. That's the shape you want it to be. Every changes has been made before you start adding colors, because when you start adding colors, you can't actually see the design that is actually underneath. You will not be able to see these particular illustrations. So currently our own illustrations for this particular section is in stroke, right? We don't have any fill values in stroke, so you want to ensure the shape, everything is perfect before you start adding color. Please, that's like a very important thing to note. So now I'm going to add colors. I'm going to select the bouquet, so in here, so I'm going to start changing the colors to So you can see, like I said, when you start adding colors, you see some parts you actually made a mistake with that you didn't cover. So I'm going to cover here. Now back to the buckets. Yeah, that's actually the color. Then here as well. So just go in and make changes when you realize. easier for what we actually replicate in Figma. Like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thank you.